Welcome back. It's always a great time to read, and there's an all-new fantasy adventure series called Realm Breaker. The first novel recently came out, and I spoke with the #1 New York Times best-selling author recently. Let's take a look.
Today I have the distinct honor of speaking with #1 New York Times best-selling author Victoria Aveyard, all about her new novel, Realm Breaker. She's bringing an electric new fantasy series perfect for young adults. Thank you so much, Victoria, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a real day.
Oh, it's so exciting. Tell me more about Realm Breaker.
Yeah, Realm Breaker is very much the story of what happens when the heroes fail. I call it Lord of the Rings meets Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's about basically the B team being called to save the world, and they're not heroes. They're very much criminals and misfits and people who would never see themselves in that position, all led by a teenage girl who is not the chosen one but has to become the chosen one, essentially. I loved every minute of writing this book. It was just really, really fun for me, and hopefully it's going to be really fun for readers too.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. I read that this novel is based off of the idea that all of the heroes are actually not around anymore, and so it's taking this new group of individuals to try and save the world or not.
Yeah, I loved getting that moment of, well, I don't want to do this, but if I don't, I'm gonna die, so I have to. They're not very altruistic motivations.
But they also seem very honest in the fact that they might not be the best, but they're good enough, and they're what is available, and they're the ones that have to do it all.
Yes, I definitely love the moment in the book where they realize no one else is coming and no one else is going to help us, and it's all on our shoulders. And how the heck did we end up here?
And I feel like that whole idea is very relatable for young adults. You find yourself in places you may not want to be, and you just have to kind of go for it. Have you found that young people really are identifying with the themes in this book even more so now than before?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the beauties of YA is for every single kind of reader. We have adult readers, we have young adult readers. The stories are so universal because that journey of figuring out who you are and finding yourself is something we all go through and we can all connect with. And one thing I love doing in this book is half of the characters are teenagers and half of them are adults, but they are all still going on that universal path of who am I? Or I thought I was this person, and maybe I'm not, and maybe I can choose to be a different way. And that is very much a young adult story.
And you have another great series. Tell me about your previous book.
Yeah, I got so lucky with that. Red Queen has been an amazing experience. It sold millions of copies worldwide, which still blows my mind to think about. I had such a great support system there, and I thought a lot about my audience coming into this next book and hoping that they would come with me into this next sandbox, as I like to call it. But Red Queen was a dystopian fantasy, and it was about people with superpowers. And then moving into Realm Breaker, it's a little bit more about magic, and I like to say that the main character's superpower is her intelligence, versus my last main character, who could literally control lightning.
Well, I love that her superpower is something that all kids possess. They have talents that will become their powers.
And I loved writing a heroine who might not be physically strong and is not going to be the one you turn to in a fight, but she's definitely going to be the one you turn to in a problem.
And this book is the first in a series, which is also very exciting. How can we find it, and how can we get more information?
Yeah, Realm Breaker is available today wherever books are sold. You can get it in your independent bookstore. You can get it in Barnes & Noble or Target or Walmart or online. It's everywhere, so wherever you want to pick it up, you can pick it up.
Realm Breaker is an excellent book for young adults, a great fantasy series, and exciting to hear more about it, to learn more about it, and to read the book and join in this unlikely band of companions that go out to save the world despite their reservations. Thank you so much, Victoria Aveyard, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.